Yeah, what up, y'all? This your boy Food Junkie, and I'm coming at you with another video on my way to work. You know how we do it on my way to work. We just talk a little ish, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on, basically how we feel about it, things like that. I'm in a much better mood than I was yesterday. That's a good thing. It's always a good thing to be in a good mood. Because I was just blah. I was trying to figure out why was I blah all day yesterday. I had heard some good words from a couple people, whatever, you know what I'm saying. They got me a little bit in a better mood, but I was just still trying to figure out why am I blah? Why was I so blah yesterday? Why was I just and not in the mood? Not in the mood at work, not in the mood at home, just not in the mood in general. I just wasn't in the mood yesterday. But then I came to the conclusion that, today I came to the conclusion that all this nonsense that's going on YouTube, whatever, really is meaningless, really is pointless. I understand it affects people, it affects people's lives, people's livelihood, it affects people's emotions, things like that. Even people that's not directly involved, but indirectly involved, it affects them as well. Then I realized, I asked myself, why are people doing what they're doing? What is it about, really, truly? And I think that my little conclusion, in my humble opinion, it has to do with acceptance and forgiveness. First, accepting oneself and forgiving oneself for whatever indiscretions that you may have caused, or whatever indiscretions that you are perceived to have caused, or even whatever indiscretions or whatever things that is something that you are manifesting in your own mind. Find a place in your heart, in your soul, in your being to forgive individuals, And I say that not because I think that someone did anything wrong, because I don't think that, Sean did anything wrong to anyone. But he already has forgiven people for what they have done to him, which is always a good thing. Always the first move to just being the best you that you can be. But it's about the people that are talking about him, people that are putting his name in their mouth and saying that he did something to them. And it's for the people that actually, need to truly get over whatever it is that they need to get over. And it's, dummy, thought you won, didn't you? It's about, just forgiving whatever preconceived or imaginary differences or wrongs that you think is done. Then I realized they have to be getting something out of this. They have to be able to, in order for them to carry on back and forth and for this amount of time, there have to be some kind of end game. There have to be something that they're getting from this. And it had me ask another question, like, what are you getting out of it? And whatever you're getting out of it temporarily for now, is it worth all of this? Is it really worth it? Like, in the long run. How is what you're going to get today going to affect you a year from now, 10 years from now? How's it going to affect your life and your kids' life? Now, what you're doing, the behaviors that you are exhibiting is going to definitely affect your life down the road and in the future. But the little monetary gains you may be getting right now, isn't that the reason why you're doing all this? Because you got a little bit of monetary gain, and you thought that by turning against someone, or whatever the case may be, you can get the same amount of gain. When you start something one way, you have to keep that facade up in order for you to maintain that, because that's what people will start to expect of you and expect from you. Once you start all the roasting and gagging and craziness was not on these YouTube streets, people are going to come to you for that, and they're going to expect that from you. And when you don't give it to them, they're going to be disappointed. Some people just don't care. Some people, that's who you are in general. But me, that's not who I am. Yeah, I have a little sense of humor every once in a while. I can roast and gag with the best of them, whatever, so I think. I can throw out little tidbits of quips here and there, whatever. But the reality is, in my life, in my soul, in my spirit, that's not where I live. I really do want to help people. I really do want people to think outside of the box. I really do want people to think critically about what's going on around them and how they involve themselves in situations that doesn't concern them, which is not a help but a hindrance into your life. I really do want people to be the best that they can be. I want people to try to manifest good vibes and good things for themselves, because that's the best life you can live. You can't expect people to give anything to you. What is meant for you is meant for you, and it's up to you to do the best with that you possibly can do. But back to about acceptance and forgiveness. Like I touched on just now, that manifesting good vibes for your life and accepting what it is that is meant for you. That everyone is meant to be at the top. Not everyone is meant to be at the bottom. There's a vast amount of space in between those two things, the top and bottom. Now, it's up to us to be able to accept where our place is, while always striving to be the best people that we were meant to be. Acceptance give you a peace of mind, a peace of solace, that you can breathe easily because you have accepted something. Well, it's not saying that you have to accept everything that comes your way, but at some point you need to accept where you are in your station, because when you're trying to, how can I put this, when you are not meant for something but you're trying so hard to obtain it, that wears on you. Weighs on your spirit, weighs on your soul, weighs on your body, weighs on your mind, which causes you to act in an erratic form where, you come out looking worse than you would if you would just accept what you have and what you're about. And then there's the part of accepting that, it just comes for me, accepting where I'm at. Well, it's not where I'm at. Well, I'm always striving for better and more, but I do that inward. I talk to myself as far as telling myself, saying things that are positive. I manifest positive energy. I manifest, good vibes amongst myself. I try to smile. I try to be pleasant to people. I try to be respectful to people. Well, it's not. And that's something that I also accept, saying that while I know that I am at times can be a little brash and harsh and cutting with my words, I accept that aspect of myself, but at the same time, I still try to be a better me every day. I try to be better today than I was yesterday. I try to, leave a place better than I came into it. I don't accept the bad behavior for myself. You know what I'm saying? I hold myself accountable. I think Miss Leo said, not Miss Leo, Leo, the Linus Queen said, she put herself on punishment every once in a while. Now, I haven't got that far yet, to put myself on punishment, but I do check myself every once in a while and be like, hold up, whoa, you're doing too much. Are you doing the most right now? Are you saying the most? Are you just being extra for no reason whatsoever? And if the answer is yes, honestly, yes, I try to work on that behavior. I try to work on the things that will allow me or have allowed me to get to that place where I am doing the most, where I am acting out of character or out of the character that I want myself to be perceived as. And that's about accepting who I am at all times, knowing myself, knowing that, there's a good and bad aspect of who I am and my personality. That's come from the fact that I am very aware that I'm not perfect. I am a work in progress, always have been, always will be. I will never be done working. I will never be done, learning and growing and accepting that fact. Now, forgiveness comes from when I have to learn to forgive myself for the indiscretions that I do. I can't sit up here and beat myself up and worry about things that I can no longer change. That's why I say when I say something, whatever, I try to say what I mean and mean what I say, and speak words that are, very true to who I am. So it's not a lot of wiggle room as far as truth there. I try to speak the truth as I know it to be. And, forgive myself when I make a mistake. Forgive myself when I fall short of that. Forgive myself when I, when I have to, basically. It's not about always trying to be perfect, but trying to be the best person I was meant to be. And forgive myself for my shortcomings, for my flaws. I can't expect someone else to forgive me if I can't forgive myself. I can't expect someone else to genuinely have concern and care for me if I don't have genuine concern and care for myself and for others. I always say that people show you who they are. People show you all the time who they are. People tell you who they are, and it's up to us as individuals to believe that. It's up to us as individuals to be accepting and forgiving of not only ourselves, but of others as well. And I think what's going on in these YouTube streets right now, all the lies and betrayal and backstabbing, misdirection and things like that, comes from the fact that people aren't accepting and are forgiving of their situations and of other people. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to do a short stop because people are freaking idiots. Jesus. I have to learn to forgive them for that. And accept that everyone don't think like I do. Now everyone's going to be, get away from this person. This person's an idiot. This person is a real idiot. Get away from this person. Dummy. Yeah. So, just be very accepting and forgiving of other people, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I forgive her for being an idiot. And I accept the fact that she is an idiot. But yeah, I think that a lot of stuff is going on in the YouTube streets right now has kind of caused me to, be a little introverted, more so than I already am in real life. Because it's like, I don't understand it, and if I don't understand it, it doesn't make sense. And like I said, I come to the conclusion that it's about accepting and forgiving, accepting that people don't have to like you, accepting that people don't have to find your brand of entertainment funny or entertaining, accepting the fact that people don't have to come to you and come to your need and come to your defense all the time. Accepting the fact that, you have put your own information out there to be talked about. You have put your own, as they say, tea out there, and forgiving yourself for doing so. Forgiving people for whatever preconceived crimes or sins that they have committed against you. And then moving on. Really just moving on. I know y'all think that putting somebody's name in your title, someone's name in your mouth in every video was not garners views and in turn garners money, which is true. But how about your self-respect? How about your integrity level? Especially after what came out last night where, it was shown that, people that know these individuals know that the person that they're blaming is not doing it. The person that they're blaming is not even involved in any way, shape, or form. And then to the content creators who's constantly trying to draw lines and draw arrows and draw, lineage to what is happening to an individual that has nothing to do with it. Now, y'all know better. Y'all know good darn well that man has nothing to do with calling CPS on this lady's kids. Y'all know good darn well that there are things in her past that is coming to bite her now. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, from the person that she snitched on basically and got 6 years, from his family, from people that comes around her house, people that came around her house recently, no new friends, you know what I'm saying? How are people coming up into your home to say, oh, how you doing, after they done doxed you before? Think critically. Think outside the box. Accept that not everything is how you may see it to be. There are things going on that you may have no idea what's going on. And accept that. And act for an investigation. Who did this? So I can get to the bottom of it. Don't just come on camera and start talking about it as if you have the facts. Because the facts you have is definitely wrong. Or I should say the perceived facts you have is definitely wrong. You know, it's like, I just don't understand how people just don't think outside the box, don't think outside the nose in front of their face. They act like they can't fathom any other possibility as if they know it to be true and to be solid. It's not. There are signs all around you saying that this is not true. There are signs all around you that saying that this is not correct. There are signs all around you that saying, look over here. Stop looking here. This is a dead end. Look over here. But you are so hell-bent on using one person's name, using one person's image, using one person's likeness as this evil person, as to say that this person has done something like that previously. Look at the history. In this sector, who is known to be doing those type of things? In this sector, who is known to be actively involved in things like that? It's not this person. It's the people that's in your chat. It's the people that you allowed over to your home. I'm just saying. Forgive yourself and accept yourself for where you are and what's going on. Accept responsibility for your own actions. Accept the responsibility for what you have put on camera. And forgive yourself for it and move on. You know, no one's holding your feet to the fire. No one cares enough to. Everything that's keep on going on is happening because you're talking about it. Everything that's going on is happening because you choose to keep bringing it up. You choose to keep on getting on camera talking about it. You choose to keep on adding fuel to the fire. You are keep on, listen, every time CPS come to your house, you are turning on the camera. Every time they leave, you get on the camera crying. It's like, at some point, you should get tired. You should be exhausted. Shit, I'm exhausted watching you. I really am. You know, I'm exhausted watching you go back and forth. I'm exhausted with the lies. I'm exhausted with the fabrications. I'm exhausted with content creators making up stories just to fit the narrative that they want to put out there, opposed to trying to find the truth, opposed to talking about the truth, opposed to talking about what's really going on. You're stuck on this narrative that is so salacious and ridiculous that it's really unbelievable. You know? But yeah, you guys, I just wanted to come on camera right quick and talk about, you know, acceptance and forgiveness, you know. Especially accepting oneself for who we are, accepting yourself for, you know what I'm saying, what you have done, and forgiving yourself, and forgiving others, accepting others as well for who they are, you know. But yeah, like I always say, love yourself, love someone else, respect yourself, and respect someone else. Until next time, you guys, this is Food Junkie, and I'm out.